All right, guys. A reminder for anybody who hasn't heard yet. On Tuesday, we're going to be having a meeting about who's going to be in charge around here. All right? So, we're going to figure out a council of things, so be around if you can.
All right.
And how you doing, Lachlan? I heard your name for somebody else. You feeling better?
Yeah, much better. And Liam, that's funny. We've met before.
Have we now? You do seem kind of familiar. Weren't you here a couple months ago about something about a paper or something?
Yeah, an interview actually. But I mean, none of that bullshit matters now.
Oh, I remember now. You're looking into people going missing on the camping trips.
Yep.
I don't know to tell you about that stuff, but I don't think it matters too much anymore. You know.
No, it definitely doesn't. Yeah, no, it's just fucking back burner bullshit. Never mind.
Well, I'm sorry to see that you got stuck here on the island. It's unfortunate that you're here. You're doing okay.
It could be worse.
How are you holding up with everything that's been going on?
Decent. Could be worse, and I think that's a really optimistic way of thinking about it.
A dumb question now, but now that you got here, did you ever finish your book you were writing?
No, I really didn't. It was less of an actual novel as it was more of I would say just a pet project of mine.
No, unfortunate. It seems like that mystery might be closed forever now. And just how things are in this world, I guess.
Yeah, unless Portland's city archives are decimated, then I guess I'll never fucking know.
My guess is those people, they're probably disappearing because of bears or wolves. I do find a lot of tents out there when I check the camping trails, and a lot of them seem to be torn open. You know, the thing is, when people go camping, they're dumb and they keep their food in the tent with them in it. And during sometimes a year, bears are very, very territorial, and they see you in the food, they see both.
I mean, you say that, but same circumstances going back, 100 years or so? I don't know. I smell a rat, but mainly it's because, I don't know.
100 years? I mean, come on now. It's wildlife.
I don't know, weird stories. See, my dad, actually, he owned a cabin out here. It's actually the original reason why I'm here. I didn't really come here so much for pleasure as I did for business. He passed. He had a cabin out here. I was really just gonna sell the place. You know. But got here, the whole island kind of has a really Shadow of Innsmouth kind of feel to it, kind of weird. I started poking around, I think, as soon as I got off the ferry.
Hey, well, I'm sorry to hear that about your father. Unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it's fine, no.
Do you know how he died?
Yeah, it was cancer.
Yeah, you know, it's a natural way to go. Nature, this island, has a way of doing things, you know. You give and it takes. It's just the way it is. And sometimes nature takes more than you'd like, but it's all balance.
Yeah, balance.
This island is, it's old. It's probably older than most islands. This volcano here has been dead for a very long time. It's just a mountain now. And, sometimes when you go into old woods, you just get that ancient feeling, right? You know, like it's seen many generations of wildlife and life in general.
Yeah, like I said, lots of weird stories.
Hey, Lachlan, what are how are your survival skills? I imagine they ain't that good. I can teach you how to hunt and shoot. It's something worthwhile.
Yeah, that would That'd be appreciated because I don't think that I took very many hunting trips out here with my father.
All right, guys.
No, he did. He did all that by himself. No.
Well, then let's get going, because let's get ourselves some more food. The more food, the better. You know, try to save our canned food and our non-perishables for as long as we can. We have plenty of meat and food. Help you guys help to it. While we're out there, that kind of worrisome, but that's the M4 that the guy has, so it's just someone taking care of the fact that it's the law doing that job. But, hey, listen, I got a place to show you that might interest you. I know it doesn't really mean much now because you're not really doing a book no more, but hell, maybe things will get better and you can still write it, you know? Because considering, you know, we're not going to go to extinct. We're just going to, our lives have changed. That's it, you know? It's like any other famine or war or a changing event for humanity.
Yeah, there's way more important things, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, I found this thing out in the swamp, and it looks old. You're really into that kind of old, spooky stuff, are you?
Yeah. I like weird.
Are you into all that pagan witch stuff as well?
It's pretty fascinating. It's a point of interest, I would say, for me. I spent a little bit of time, I want to say, in Denton, Texas, actually.
Huh.
There's this place out that way. It's called Goatman's Bridge.
Never heard of it
It's
myself.
connected. Yeah, it's connected directly to a lot of, I want to say, satanic worship and odd stories. Yeah.
You know, satanic rituals often get mistaken for other rituals, you know, like of different religions, you know, or Norse things, or from any country, really. The Christians just call anything the devil, basically. That's what
Anything misunderstood.
Were you one of those goth girls in high school?
God, I don't want to talk about high school.
No worries, don't worry about it. So, what draws you to that kind of stuff, anyways?
Fascination, I would say, for the things that are harder to explain.
I'm gonna teach you something right now. So when out hunting, you can usually find a kill or a dead corpse, or like a dead thing. You often will see birds on the island circling them. So, I hope. Sorry, I just realized I was kind of thinking to myself. But I was saying, if you see birds circling a corpse, you look up in the sky. That means usually something died there. And if you're hunting and you need to find your kill, look for birds. Sometimes they'll help you find the food that you hunted. And sometimes you might find something you wish you didn't.
Carrion birds.
Yeah. There's a lot of them these days. They're picking around everywhere. If I guess right, they're probably carrying disease too. It probably doesn't affect them, but I bet they're a spreader.
Would be a decent assumption, I think. How long have you lived out here? You're local, right?
My entire life. Born and raised. You know, I left for a year once to live on Maine's mainland, but wasn't real my lifestyle. I love it here. I have a connection to these woods. I like what I do. I love nature. Right this way. And keep your ears peeled for the sound of deer. They make a kind of a grunting noise sometimes, and you'll hear it. I'll point it out.
Right.
So what else did you dig up about our interview?
Let me see. I think, like I said before, when me and my sister were young, my father would always just tell really weird stories, I'd say, about the island. But when I actually got here, I went to City Archives and the Historical Association and just kind of picked through a few just missing persons cases. But I think the most recent that I saw was a father and his 2 sons.
That's unfortunate.
Hunting, fishing.
I remember seeing them before they left because they came in to get their youngest a fishing license because they didn't have one yet, and that was the last I seen them, unfortunately. And they were saying they were going towards Wallerboro, but they wanted to take a camping trip first up in the mountains. And I told them, you gotta be careful out there because there's bears, and we do have wolves on the island as well. So my fear is that they unfortunately met one of them.
Yep. See, this is exactly why I wanted to speak to you first.
A lot of people come here, and a lot of people, tourists. They're not the smartest people about outdoor stuff, and there's always people wandering off and getting lost, and we have to, call the forest rangers together and get a search party going. But majority of the time we just don't end up finding them, unfortunately, especially out here in the swamp. You see that over there? See those birds circling? That means something's dead over there. The thing I wanted to show you is not this way, but this is the swamp. I'd say feels the oldest sometimes out here on the island, like it was an original piece of it. Sometimes we get bears down here as well, so do keep your eyes peeled. They like to dig up the catfish in the mud. Some say this place is eerie, but I think it's a special part of the ecosystem here on Deer Isle, personally.
Yeah, swamp has a certain beauty, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it does. And now that you bring up the witchcraft stuff, I do remember, someone talking about witch trials and things back in the 1800s. Some old guy talking about a story about this stuff he remembered. A lot of women as well were persecuted here as well. Unfortunate. Different times back then, people were ignorant. They see something out of the ordinary and they assume witchcraft. Just because a woman, learned herbal recipes or something like that. They immediately assume witchcraft, demons, things like that. You comfortable? Are you okay? I know this place can be a bit eerie, to say the least.
Oh no, this is fascinating.
All right, cool. I see you looking all over the place, so I wasn't sure if you were checking your back, but it's a good idea to check your back. But it's definitely definitely different.
It's funny, actually. James, he introduced me as a fucking ghost hunter, which that's not too far, I would say, from the truth.
So you do hunt ghosts, huh?
No. It's not like that, okay? Because, you see, paranormal tourism it's a moneymaker. It's kind of a big deal for some people, right?
Oh, I get you. It's a popular topic, so you write about it and you look up history about it.
Right? Yeah, people pay me to come in, stay somewhere, do a little bit of historical research, a little bit of investigative research, take some photographs, because what I pretty much do with my photography, it's what I specialize in specifically.
You ever find any real ghosts? But I mean, I don't believe them, so I imagine you didn't. But You ever see anything weird? Couldn't explain.
I've seen plenty of weird things and plenty of things I can't explain.
Maybe you can explain this thing I show you. Who knows? You're an expert, right? But yeah, everyone around camp's gonna call you Ghost Girl. You know that, right? You know, he started that.
Don't, please. Don't. No, I didn't. Please don't do that.
Hey, all right, I won't, but I can't promise they will. But, you know, these guys
they will.
at camp, they need anything to laugh about, you know? I know you might not like it, but it does help in its own weird way. Everyone's lost so much recently.
Morale.
Yeah, but if it gets to you too much, let me know and I'll shut them up. How's that sound?
I don't think that's necessary. I think I can shut them up just fine on my own.
Well, that's good luck when you have a backbone. You need that these days. Well, nearly there. Probably good in another 5-minute walk, maybe, at most. My family, we've been on the island for a very long time, you know. Go way back. Part of the history. You know, my gramps and his grandfather, you know, they've started some of the shops in town. I don't have any, like, you know, ownership over them anymore, but my fishing shop, where you can buy your licenses, that was been in the family for a very long time. On that street in Portland, that building looks new, but it's been renovated so many times. It was just a cabin for a long time. That eventually became part of the city over time. And we've been there for a very long time. That's why I can't leave this place. My family has too much history here.
But your family founded the town?
No, they
Or
didn't.
helped at least?
They're related to founders, maybe. I don't know anymore. Our history books get a bit hard to read after a while. They're a little soaked and ruined, so. But we do have family crest and things of that sort.
Yeah, the historical documents, I have to say, in Portland's City Hall, they're a mess.
Yeah, a lot of them were damaged by a fire, unfortunately. Portland's archive actually nearly burned down once before. And then one time I heard that someone, you know, caught somebody attempting to burn down the archives. I don't know who would want to burn history. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's what the curator said.
All right, we're going to be careful. There are infected around you, sick people. We're going to do our best to avoid them. In fact, let's use things that are a bit quieter, because I notice noise attracts a lot of them. This is an old military base. I think Tech was using it for a bit. A lot of it's run down. We don't have to take a peek around, you know. You might find more useful things.
It's kind of impractical, wouldn't it?
What do you mean? Impractical? I don't know what Tech's one deal is.
Out here.
Secrecy, probably. That's what I imagine. They're hiding something. They burned a lot of the structures when they left and destroyed a lot of their own vehicles, so it's a burn the salt kind of thing going on here.
We were in Sandy earlier today. Do you have any idea what happened there?
I haven't seen Sandy yet with my own eyes. One second, I think I saw infected inside that building. Hello? Are you infected? If you're not, say something.
Hey, bud.
How you doing? Oh, God. Someone's alive down here. What's your name?
My name's John, man. You?
My name. I think I met you earlier. Were you, I met you on the road, right? I'm Liam. Yeah, I remember you.
I think so, yeah.
How you doing, John? It's good to see you again. This is my friend Lachlan, and we came out here hunting, but then, you know, we decided to pick around the military base.
Yeah, for sure.
By any chance, have you seen anything weird lately? Any, seditious folks? There's been a lot going on over by the farm recently. Robberies and things like that.
No, I haven't seen anyone. You're the first people I've seen other than one other guy on the road.
If I was you,
So-
be very careful, alright? Especially if you meet someone named Michael traveling with a woman. I forget her name, but they're both reporters. They've been robbing people. They start out really friendly, and then they get nasty.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people are fucked up.
I got good news, by the way. I talked to one of the police officers. I forget his name already. But he's going to be sending a sheriff to hang around Farmington to keep an eye after us. He's got some good training.
Nice.
Another question, actually.
A little extra security.
In your travels, have you met a man named Adam? Versiski, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, thanks anyways. There's a woman named Sarah.
No worries.
She's missing her husband. They were supposed to get married the day Portland got bombed.
I'll keep an eye out. If I find anyone by that name, I'll send them by.
Thank you, I appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you.
No problem, man.
All right, you take care. I'm gonna have a peek around. Probably not in the
Take
mud.
care.
This fucking
No, I'm trained for this. I'm familiar with a lot of the land. I'm a Rex and Game warden, so I gotta know these things. Yeah, here it is. This is the place right here. It looks like someone was unfortunate recently. There's been a lot of these hangings lately everywhere around the island. What do you think of this? The stone looks old, right?
Yeah, it does. The body, though. Shit. Not so much.
Yeah, it smells. It's awful. And this rock is bizarre. It looks like, it's important to something. Especially they build something like this around it, right?
Yeah. Christ. How did, how'd you manage to come across this?
I was scavenging earlier with Jinx, and we came across a military base here. And then we found this bizarre place. What do you think of it?
Is this... What do I think of it? This is something...
I mean, if you were writing your book, what were you putting words on paper? Your first feelings, your thoughts, stepping into this ominous thing. It made more ominous with the guy hanging there.
more ritualistic, I would say, than anything else. You've got skeletons.
Well, that's for sure. They look kind of old.
They do.
That looks a little more fresh. The meat's still on it. It looks like somebody carved them that way. You don't rot, animals don't rot like that. I mean, people don't rot like that either, but like, usually there's mummified skin and stuff like that on there, but this guy was carved up. Bizarre. I wonder if these blood and guts are part of it or something.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. Wait, hold on a minute.
If you gotta puke, you gotta puke. It's okay. Yeah, sorry I brought you here. It's a bit overwhelming. It's a bit of a mess.
No, it's fine. It's good, because... How long did you say you've known about this?
And I found it recently with Jinx the other day. Thought it was kind of weird and ancient looking.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It seems that way at least, but judging by the body, it looks like it's been used recently.
Now, there's a lot of sick folks walking around this island right now. There's a group of people pulling out tongues. So, this could be them too, for all we know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard at least.
Yeah, well, that's all I have to show you. I don't really hear any game around. But, if we want to go back to camp, we can, unless you want to look around more. Well, I actually didn't take too much of a look at this anyways. I'm going to look behind it. Yeah, it does look old. It's like cobblestone.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And we should get out of here. It's getting dark anyways.
Yeah, that's...
This way. Get back to camp. You know, we don't need to bother the other guys about it anyways, you know. Just stress them out. I'm just gonna tell them the swamp's dangerous and they shouldn't really go there. It's easy to get lost here anyways without a guide. Shh.
What?
I heard infected inside the building. Follow me quietly. Have you seen them up close yet? Because it's something you don't want to see if you can help it.
No, my trip to Sandy today cured me of that.
Yeah, well, let's avoid them. Best be had. Wouldn't want either of us getting sick, you know. I wonder if they're a blight on this land for something we've done as humanity, you know. Some of us are talking about that. I wonder if it's our fault and we're being punished for this.
I guess that just really depends on if you believe in some kind of divine intervention. I guess.
No, I'm a religious man in my own way, but nature takes if you do not give back enough, and I think nature's taking a lot right now from everybody. You know, this whole thing is probably our fault. You know, think about other pandemics in the past, like the Black Plague. You know, filled with filth and mess, and nature comes through and scrubs it clean. Bizarre how that happens, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you think your book would have been a bestseller?
It's tough to say. I would like to say that I could write a bestseller, but I'm no Stephen King.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, like a bestseller among your books that you've written so far.
Yeah, with what I feel like I had going on here, everything that I managed to gather, yeah, I feel like I definitely could have had something interesting. But I guess it doesn't really matter now, does it?
I mean, if it matters you, maybe in your free time, write it down. You know, pretend like nothing happened for a bit. You know, it's a way to de-stress and raise morale. Don't quit because the world's gone to shit. Keep writing. Maybe one day there'll be need for books again.
No, I've been trying to figure out where I could possibly find time for my fucking hobbies.
I'll have to have you come on more hunting trips so I can show you the ropes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see nothing, but we'll teach you how to shoot, son.
Yeah, I need to. What's that?
You see something?
No, I think it was just the wind.
It's pretty quiet tonight.
But you said there were wolves out here?
They're all wolves. They're all bears. We hear them coming. They like to howl. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they sneak up, but most of the time they don't. If you see one coming at you, climb a rock, okay? My best advice. Put a tree between you and the wolf. You know, you might have to dance a bit, but I'll take care of them, okay?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Almost back to the road. If I get elected leader on Tuesday, I'm going to make a rule that we don't want people going this way unless they're trained and gunned, because there are a lot of infected over that military base. We'll probably have to give it a good run through one day so we can find, but other than that, we got to be careful. It's different here at night. Everything becomes one. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, my dad used to tell some really interesting stories about nighttime, I would say, out here.
You got any other good ones?
Just, I said there were a few times that he was out hunting at night, following some of the trails, the nature trails. And he would hear footsteps behind him. But it wasn't like animals, right? Because animals sound a certain way. It was like a person.
It could be spirits. Ooh.
Yeah, ghost stories.
Yeah. I lied, dude. I do kind of believe in ghosts a little bit. I just don't like to admit it. They give me the heebie-jeebies, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, are like that. They don't want to believe.
You know, the natives here on the island, I was talking to a man named Running Beetle, or something like that. John Acorn was his name. He says the island's known for having wendigos as well. You know, I think it's, I don't know what a wendigo is exactly, but I know it's someone possessed by evil spirit or something like that, of the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an evil spirit. It's usually, a wendigo. By legend, Native American legend is a spirit that, in times of, it's normally during winter time, whenever somebody is starving to death, they get possessed by a wendigo, and it's a cannibalistic spirit.
Yeah, we, 15 years ago, that reminds me, there's this guy named Jeffrey, I forget his last name, Jeffrey Riker, I think it was. And they found him in his house, killed his wife and 3 kids, and ate them. Real fucked up.
Out here?
Yeah, he was ranting on and on about how he did it for the land. And he was already kind of a crazy guy. You know, spent a lot of time by himself. Not when he was younger, it wasn't that bad when he was younger. He was, you know, quite popular with the ladies, but he moved into a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and I think he got green fever, which is a term for getting the madness when you're in the woods for too long by yourself. But he was with his family, which doesn't make sense. That was far away. Yeah, it's across the water, actually, far away. Maybe he was a wendigo.
Yeah, if you believe in that kind of stuff.
Oh no, people do crazy shit. I think we have worse monsters now these days, considering people pulling tongues out, people hanging people. Hey, I just realized something. Back there was enough bones for 3 people. Well, maybe 2 people with the... that body that was hanging there, that could have... I thought I recognized it. I was thinking about it. I think that's the guy that went missing of his sons. I think those bones might be his kids or something. There's 3 of them. It matches the profile. His sons were, 17 and 18, so they're nearly full grown, right?
Yeah, that's, yeah, that sounds about right.
Looks like we just solved our own fucked up mystery. And whoever did that might still be around. I think we might have to keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it was that John guy back there.
Anybody that you can think of that would, that you would suspect of suspicious behavior like that?
At this point, I don't know, really. People on this island are good people. Lachlan, we're like a family out here. We care for each other. Maybe it's a tourist taking advantage of tourist time, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of anybody I know who would do something like that. Something that horrible and unspeakable. And at this rate, the way the world is and the way the police are busy with things, I don't think there's much of a chance of finding out. But you got clues now, so maybe you just keep your eyes peeled and you might find something if you look hard enough.
No, you're right. It's a fucking fool's errand right now, but...
Hey, keep reading that book. Maybe you'll have a good ending. Did you have any clues, when you were tracking it, when you came here?
Well, I had pretty much just gotten started. Like I said, when I landed on the island, one of the first things I did was go to the city hall in Portland. Just kind of poke around, just do a little bit of research. Because, of course, my father told me stories, So I was interested to begin with when I first stepped foot.
Well, I'm sorry to say, this sounds like a bestseller coming together, and unfortunately the world decided to make a big change. I'm sure somebody might buy it still.
I have serious doubts. I don't think anybody's really thinking about books at this point.
They're thinking about a lot of other things. They're probably thinking about burning books for fire. And burning knowledge, it's not a good thing to do. It really isn't. And we're almost out of the swamp. Let's get a jog going.
What can you tell me about some of these missing persons cases?
We've had, in my time, while working there at the office, I think we had about 27 missing cases. Out of the We've had a bunch, but I have 27 of them. We could not find them. They all vanished in thin air.
What can you tell me exactly about the circumstances behind those? Were they all normal, abnormal?
No. Most of them, when we went to the camp, like, sometimes the ones we knew where they were camping, they'd tell us where they were going or they were fishing at. When we'd go, we'd search lakes. If they were fishing, they may have drowned. We go to the camping sites. Most times the camping site's a mess. Been torn apart. Food's ripped open. Things like that. So, we assume it's bears. I mean, it fits the bears' MO there. But the other cases, nothing. No idea where they went. Just gone. Thin air.